In the world of reality television, drama and tension are often never far behind. And when it comes to love and hip-hop in Atlanta, something is always brewing. One of the most recent developments in the entertainment industry involves popular show star Erica Dixon and her outspoken response to the news that her ex-partner Lil Scrappy is expecting a fifth child with his new girlfriend, hairstylist Shakira Dixon. Her response to this news was first shared in a live stream, and her direct and somewhat icy response to a question about the situation in the video, which was later shared on TikTok, sparked a lot of discussion among fans and followers. Regarding the dynamics of the relationship between Dixon Scrappy and the other parties involved, Erica Dixon's initial reaction, "Am I supposed to care?" The tension between Erica Dixon and Lil Scrappy is nothing new for the couple. It's clear that their relationship has been challenging, as their turbulent past, full of ups and downs, has been portrayed on screen for years. From their messy breakup to co-parenting issues, their relationship has been complicated, but the most recent development, Scrappy's announcement of this fifth child, has brought their past back into the public eye. During the live stream, Dixon was asked what she thought of Lil Scrappy's relationships. Dixon said, "Am I supposed to care?" with a smirk and a hint of sarcasm. After a moment of silence, she softened her tone and said, "Congratulations." Her next comment, "You should feel happy anytime anyone has a baby that's life," seemed more like a polite concession than a sincere congratulations, but fans quickly began to speculate about Dixon's true feelings toward the situation given the public nature of her relationship with Scrappy. After all, she and Scrappy have a child together, and their complicated past may have left her feelings about his new life partner and child somewhat nuanced. According to reports, Scrappy recently revealed that he would be starting a new chapter with Shakira, who is expecting his fifth child. Shakira, a successful hairstylist, met the rapper during a taping of the reality speed dating show Pick a Side, and the two hit it off at the event. The news of their child came as a shock to many because it marked the beginning of the next chapter in Scrappy's already complicated family life. For those who have been following Lil Scrappy's journey through love and hip-hop, from his previous relationships with other women to his relationship with Erica Dixon, Scrappy's personal life has often been full of high drama and well-publicized relationships. It's safe to say that his romantic and familial dynamics have been a major theme of his public persona, and the addition of another child only serves to fuel the fire. While many fans congratulated Scrappy and Hardy on their pregnancy, others took to social media to criticize, saying that Scrappy was trying to make Hardy feel responsible for the pregnancy, and that Hardy should reconsider having a child in a situation where Scrappy wasn't fully committed. One such person, named Me, posted a TikTok video accusing Scrappy of gaslighting Hardy into believing that the situation was somehow her fault. The video quickly became popular, and many fans shared their thoughts on the subject. Given the drama surrounding Scrappy's new relationship and baby announcement, it was not surprising that fans wanted to know Dixon's feelings about it all. During her live video, Dixon was bombarded with questions from her followers, many of whom seemed interested in finding out more about her thoughts on Scrappy's most recent life update. It was clear that some of the remarks had upset her. At one point, a fan asked Dixon if she felt foolish given the circumstances. Dixon, who never backs down from a challenge, responded, "You're the stupid one." Fans who watched the exchange saw that Dixon's attitude had changed significantly during the live show, and many were quick to point out how the questions triggered her emotional response. One commenter said, "You guys caught the attitude despite her defensive moments." This highlighted the tension between Dixon and the fan base, especially those who were pushing her boundaries with provocative questions. Dixon also addressed the persistent rumors regarding her relationship with Scrappy in response to questions about whether they were dating. There was little opportunity for interpretation. In a podcast interview with Carlos King, Scrappy caused a stir when he revealed that he had always loved Dixon even when they weren't together. "I've been in love with her for our whole relationship, even when we weren't in a relationship," he said, leaving many fans perplexed. It seems that this response is consistent with Dixon's earlier remarks, in which she made it clear that her relationship with Scrappy was over, with a chapter of her life officially closed. Even though the past may have been filled with heartache and frustration, Dixon seems focused on her own development and happiness despite the difficulties. Although they have always put up a united front when it comes to their child, Erica Dixon's comments about moving on and letting go of past relationships reflect the desire for peace and closure. Over the years as co-parents, they have worked through the difficulties of raising a child together while also juggling the complexities of their personal lives. Whether there is more to the story is up for debate. Even though Dixon has said that she has always loved Scrappy, his actions seem to show that he is moving on with his life. Scrappy's new relationship and upcoming fatherhood speak to her emotional distance from him at this point in her life. The fact that she was able to maintain her boundaries and offer a polite congratulations shows a level of maturity and self-respect. As the drama surrounding Lil Scrappy, Erica Dixon, and their respective partners continues to unfold, fans are curious to see how this will affect his co-parenting relationship with Dixon and his interactions with the mothers of his other children. The arrival of his fifth child is anticipated to have a significant impact on his. In the world of reality television, few shows have garnered as much attention as Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the well-liked VH1 series that chronicles the lives of the music industry. Family dynamic, the continuous story of their lives, whether it's Dixon's sardonic social media posts, Scrappy's love confessions, or the arrival of new family members, keeps the industry from lacking entertainment for Erica Dixon, whose message is clear that she's moved on and won't allow the past to define her. One thing is for sure, though, this drama is far from over and will undoubtedly continue to captivate fans for years to come. Two celebrities who have gained notoriety as a result of the show are Erica Dixon and Lil Scrappy, whose tumultuous relationship has been documented on camera for years, leaving viewers on edge and wanting more. Their journey on the show has been filled with drama, love, heartbreak, and reconciliation, but it has also revealed more intimate aspects of their lives, such as the beginning of Erica Dixon and the story of Lil Scrappy's love, which encompasses their roles as parents, co-parents, and public figures, started when both were pursuing their own careers in the entertainment industry. Dixon, a former model and businesswoman, was focused on building a career for herself, while Lil Scrappy, a rapper and reality TV star, was working on his musical career. Their initial connection seemed genuine, and the two became a single mother. Dixon's personal life became a major highlight of the show as she negotiated her relationship with Scrappy, who at the time was still attempting to stay in touch with his ex-girlfriend, rapper and reality star Diamond. Their relationship was brought to the forefront of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta when, at the beginning of their relationship, Scrappy and Dixon's chemistry was evident, and their playful banter and public affection made them an attractive couple both on and off screen. As their relationship developed on reality TV, Erica Dixon and Lil Scrappy's on and off again romance quickly emerged as one of the main plot points. Many viewers were drawn to Scrappy and Dixon's love story, hoping they would be able to overcome their differences and find lasting happiness together. However, what followed was a series of breakups, makeups, and public arguments that would dominate the plot of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta for seasons. Throughout the seasons, fans saw both the low points, when they struggled with trust, infidelity, and jealousy, and the high points, when they tried to work things out and had tender moments. One of the most traumatic moments was when Scrappy was in a love triangle with Dixon and Diamond, which led to painful confrontations and broken trust. Dixon's partner for years was devastated by his infidelity, and Scrappy's commitment issues were a constant source of tension in a couple that couldn't seem to get it right, especially when it was revealed that he had been involved with other women during their relationship. One of the main points of contention was his inability to commit to Dixon. He also struggled with his feelings for Dixon in his previous relationships, especially with his mother, Mama D, whose intrusive involvement in his personal life often caused friction in his romantic relationships. Her actions and influence were captured on camera, and viewers found Scrappy's decisions about Dixon to be strongly influenced by Mama D's opinions. At one point, Scrappy even admitted that his mother's opinions had influenced his judgment in the relationship, adding even more complexity to their dynamic despite their frequent breakups. Though their romantic relationship may have been rocky, Dixon and Scrappy's commitment to co-parenting their daughter, Amani, was one of the few constants in their relationship. Despite their personal disagreements, they hoped that Scrappy would eventually prove himself worthy of Dixon's heart as they maintained a loving environment for their daughter. This back-and-forth relationship kept fans interested in their passionate connection every time they parted ways. This commitment to their child was a recurrent theme in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and Scrappy in particular was often depicted as trying to balance his career, his relationship with Dixon, and his role as a father. However, his actions, such as his brief relationships with other women, frequently demonstrated his struggles with responsibility. Dixon was more concerned with the welfare of her daughter and the difficulties of co-parenting than with Bambi, who frequently caused drama. Dixon's strong and independent personality contrasted with Scrappy's often immature behavior, making her one of the show's most admired and respected cast members. As Dixon navigated her own personal growth, she was constantly tested by new romantic entanglements and emotional baggage. Scrappy's relationship with his ex-girlfriend Diamond was frequently discussed on the show, adding fuel to the fire. However, Dixon was not immune to drama. Her past relationships, including a brief engagement to Love and Hip Hop star Lil Scrappy's best friend, also played out on screen, leaving fans wondering whether she was ready to move on from Scrappy permanently. The role of Mama D is the quintessential drama in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta as Scrappy's mother. As an overprotective mother, Mama D seemed to want what was best for her son, but she frequently alienated the women he was involved with in the process. Dixon, on the other hand, was unwilling to let Mama D dictate the terms of her relationship with Scrappy, and Dixon's tough exterior and no-nonsense attitude were what kept her going throughout their relationship. Mama D became a mainstay of the show, contributing both humor and drama. Her intrusive involvement in Scrappy's romantic life frequently placed her at the center of the drama. Although the relationship between Erica Dixon and Lil Scrappy has been an emotional roller coaster, Mama D's influence went beyond the screen as her dramatic and often outraged behavior became a defining feature of the show. Whether it was her feuds with Dixon, her ongoing struggle for Scrappy's attention, or her penchant for drama, Mama D became a fan favorite. Her larger-than-life personality made her a fan favorite and served as the catalyst for many of the most dramatic moments in the show. Additionally, our relationship with Dixon and Scrappy gave the producers new material for the show's final installment, After Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Moving On. Dixon, in particular, has used her time on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta as a platform to build a brand and expand her career. She is known for her beauty, intelligence, and entrepreneurial spirit. Dixon became an inspiration to many fans who saw her as a symbol of tenacity and strength for Scrappy. The story of Scrappy's life after Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has been marked by his maturing career and personal development, despite the fact that he has continued to face challenges in his relationships, such as his marriage to Bambi. However, Scrappy's journey has been one of introspection. Though their romantic relationship may have ended, their journey continues to captivate fans who have watched their love story unfold from passionate moments to painful breakups, the conclusion of a legacy of drama, growth, and resilience. As a father of multiple children, his story is one of growth and learning from past mistakes. The impact of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta on Dixon and Scrappy cannot be overstated. After all, the show gave them a platform to express their emotions, navigate their personal struggles, and ultimately move on from each other. Although their relationship may be over, Erica Dixon and Lil Scrappy's legacy endures in the world of reality television, where they have become symbols of the difficulties and victories of navigating love and life in the public eye. Their continuous story serves as a reminder that in the world of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, drama and personal growth go hand in hand. One of the most iconic narratives in the history of love and hip-hop Atlanta is that of Dixon and Scrappy, who have given fans countless moments of drama, love, heartbreak, redemption, and the roller coaster co-parenting journey. Lil Scrappy, one of the most well-known artists in love hip-hop in Atlanta, has never shied away from talking about his personal struggles. Few things were more devastating than when he found out that his ex-wife Bambi was expecting a child with her new partner. The show has followed his journey through heartbreak, love, and family strife, and at that very moment, he was going through real, unadulterated suffering. This was the tragic truth of a man trying to control his emotions, and it wasn't just a TV story. Bambi and Lil Scrappy's relationship was anything but straightforward. It was a roller coaster of passion, arguments, and moments of doubt despite their obvious compatibility. Because of the deep-seated pain of ending their relationship, disagreements, infidelity, and conflicting goals led to what seemed to be an inevitable breakup. As anyone who watches love and hip-hop knows, Lil Scrappy doesn't let go of things easily. He had strong feelings for Bambi, the mother of his children, and his dreams of a future as a family remained deeply ingrained in his heart after their split. Scrappy and Bambi attempted to maintain a cordial co-parenting relationship for the benefit of their kids, and on occasion they were successful in doing so. Despite his internal conflicts, Scrappy tried to respect her choices because he was still hurt by their breakup and found it difficult to believe that Bambi had moved on. After all, they had shared a life, a family, and a bond that was difficult to break, so it was almost impossible for him to imagine her with someone else. At a crucial moment, Lil Scrappy learned something that would change his perspective on their relationship forever. The woman he had once vowed to love and cherish was expecting a child with her new partner. No one, not even the experienced crew, could have predicted the raw intensity that would unfold when Scrappy and Chaotic were thrown into the same scene. What was supposed to be just another scripted confrontation quickly escalated into a fiery clash that would leave the cast and audience shocked. The day started like any other, and the crew had prepared for another round of chaotic filming with multiple storylines. During that time, the intensity of his emotions was evident, and the atmosphere on the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta set was electric, charged with the kind of tension that only reality TV could bring. Lines bubbling to the surface, but for Scrappy, it was a different kind of day. He had been under a lot of personal pressure lately, dealing with family issues, relationship drama, and the constant spotlight of the show, all of which had been pushing him to the limit. However, it wasn't just the typical stress that had Scrappy on edge today. It was Chaotic. The aggressive newcomer, known for his sharp tongue and even sharper attitude, had no problem picking fights, especially if it meant getting attention. Having spent years in the spotlight, Scrappy wasn't impressed by Chaotic antics, but there was something about the way. The tension between the two men had been building for weeks, with Chaotic subtly undermining Scrappy's reputation by making fun of his previous relationships and making fun of his position within the love and hip-hop circle. Scrappy had tried to ignore it, but today he couldn't contain it any longer. The scene began innocently enough, with the producers setting up a confrontation between the two men, mistaking it for just another round of verbal sparring. However, as soon as the cameras rolled, Chaotic went on the offensive, his voice dripping with, "You've been on this show for how long, and you still don't know how to handle your business?" Haha. Chaotic's words were like daggers aimed at Scrappy's pride, and his smirk only made things worse. His PI was beginning to lose his cool, and Scrappy's jaw was clenched. He had been trying to remain composed, but Chaotic's constant taunting was getting to him. Scrappy wasn't used to conflict, but this time, Chaotic wasn't just talking about his personal life or relationships. He was attacking his very credibility and identity on the show, and that was something Scrappy wasn't willing to let slip. Scrappy's voice was low but full of warnings. He wasn't one to back down though, so he pushed harder. "Watch my mouth," he said. "You're not built like you used to be, Scrappy. You're just another washed-up dude pretending to be relevant." His words cut through the tension in the room like a blade. Then, In one quick motion, Scrappy's hand shot out, delivering a sharp slap across Chaos's face. The sound of the impact reverberated throughout the set, causing the crew to gasp in unison as his head snapped to the side. There was no turning back now that the slap had started a fire that neither man seemed willing to put out. He growled, his fists clenched, his body tense with rage, and Scrappy stood his ground, his chest heaving with the adrenaline rush, his eyes burning with anger as he lunged towards Scrappy, pushing past the security team who rushed to intervene. He looked shocked for a moment, but quickly recovered his composure. Thick with venom, now you see what happens when you don't know how to shut it. The cast and crew dispersed throughout the scene, watching in stunned silence as the two men squared off while still being restrained by security. The silence was broken only by the sound of harsh breathing and muffled shouts, indicating that this was about respect for two men who had reached a breaking point and were too proud to back down. The producers quickly called for a break after realizing that the situation had gotten much worse than they had intended, and the crew hurried to separate the men, pulling them in opposite directions and attempting to de-escalate the situation. The slap was not just an impulsive reaction, it was a declaration that Scrappy wasn't going to allow anyone, not even Chaos, to try to take his place or disrespect him in front of the world. The conflict may have ended, but the cameras showed that their animosity continued. It was clear that Love and Hip Hop Atlanta had just witnessed one of its most explosive moments yet, anger rising. Bambi, who was standing nearby, could feel the storm building. Chaotic, a dangerous calm settling over him as the crowd around them buzzed with anticipation. Scrappy's muscles tightened, and the tension in the air was palpable. She had heard disrespectful words from Chaos, and she knew her husband would not take it lightly because he was no stranger to confrontation. He had always carried a chip on his shoulder and frequently found himself in verbal altercations with the other cast members. But this time the stakes were different. This time it was personal, and Scrappy wasn't about allowing anyone to treat his wife disrespectfully. Not on stage, not in front of an audience, and definitely not without consequences in one quick motion. He was used to being the center of attention, but he soon realized that things had gotten out of control. Without warning, Lil Scrappy raised his hand and slapped Chaos across the face. The sound of the slap reverberated throughout the room, and Bambi's face was a mixture of pride and relief. She had always known that Scrappy would protect her, but seeing him stand up for her so fiercely stirred something deep inside her that knew they had a bond that couldn't be broken in that moment. As the cameras panned out, a question lingered in the air. How would this change the dynamic of the group going forward? Would Chaotic retaliate, or had he finally met his match in Lil Scrappy? Whatever happened next, one thing was certain. This drama was far from over and chaotic. Perhaps the other members of the cast were secretly relieved that someone had finally put Chaotic in his place for Lil Scrappy. The message was clear: family first at all costs. The rest of the cast watched in stunned silence, some unsure of how to respond, others perhaps secretly relieved that someone had finally put Chaotic in his place for Lil Scrappy. The message was clear: family first at all costs. Scrappy's muscles tightened, and the tension in the air was palpable. Bambi, standing nearby, could feel the storm brewing because she had heard Chaotix. She was used to being the center of attention, but he soon realized that the situation had escalated far beyond his expectations. Insulting remarks, and she was well aware that her husband would not take them lightly. Cass was nothing new to him, but this time he had set up the wrong emotions.